Ben joins me now live. Ben, let's bring us up to speed, please. What happened this afternoon?
Well, we heard evidence at the inquest from Stephen Hodgson, who's the man who was actually holding the gun and examining it and was going to put it down when the pellet fired from it. He chose not to take the stand, but we heard transcripts of the interviews that police conducted with him in the days just after the incident happened. He told police that he thought something had got caught on the trigger and insisted that he'd never actually touched the trigger, though he was handling the gun. He said he ran away from that house and the flat where it happened because he panicked, and described how a policewoman came to interview him at his own house, at which point he broke down in tears. And he kept saying over and over in his head, why did he have a loaded gun? This is Dave, his friend. Why did he have a loaded gun in the house? If it hadn't been there or it hadn't been loaded, none of this would have happened. And at one stage it was suggested that he could help police by demonstrating how he was handling the gun. At that point during the police interview, the solicitor interjected and said that when it was put to Stephen that he might do this, he broke down in a panic and said that he's not capable of holding a gun, certainly not after what had happened.
OK, what has the coroner said in relation to all this? Well,
Coroner Simon Nelson, in his ruling today, said that he could see absolutely no justification at all for anyone possessing these sort of weapons other than in very, very controlled, specific circumstances. He said that he would support moves to prevent possession of firearms in any private house owned by members of the public or indeed anywhere in the public arena. Now, that's quite strong stuff coming from the coroner. But he made reference to the fact this isn't the first time, certainly not the first time in Greater Manchester, that a firearm has gone off in a domestic house by accident, nonetheless going on to cause death or, at the very least, serious injury. He pointed out that the family had been extremely generous in accepting the remorse expressed by Stephen Hodgson, and the statement from the family emphasised that as well. When he spoke about hoping that the family could find the courage and the strength to move on, Rachel's mum broke down at that point. The coroner then went on to give his ruling that this was an accidental death, but he was at pains to point out that the process of an inquest is so important for the family because it helps them find out a little bit more about the circumstances in which Rachel died.
Ben, thanks very much indeed.